risk, big risk.
And you heard the call there from Tim Cindric saying pit this lap for rains, and Newgarden has said a couple of times it's raining, and then the last communication was it's legit raining. And I can tell you pit road is getting damp here, so they're going to go to rain tires here for Joseph Newgarden. As you said, Paul, big risk, but it could pay off big for Joseph Newgarden, who's been the dominant car here at Barber today. Kevin?
Marty, I think Newgarden is in the driver's seat right now. Sebastian Bourdais assumes the lead, but they were really hoping that they wouldn't need to pit for rain tires because they were good to go the rest of the way. They had already told him to turn it up, go as hard as you can in the conditions. For now, Bourdais staying out. They're hoping somehow the rain dissipates, but obviously they have to pit. Then Newgarden is back in control.
And for Scott Dixon, I think it's a huge advantage because rain tires are not fast when it's this dry. And this one lap for Scott Dixon could really help him close the gap on Newgarden.
The rain continues.
Oh, there he goes.
This is the right call, but the question mark is, will he burn those tires up in 2 or 3 laps?
And Pagenaud had made the call that he wanted to come actually a couple of laps ago. They finally come down pit road. They would have been the first one on the rain tires. And Scott Dixon, we've been talking about him all day long, a little bit longer on that stop for the 22. They are now talking about rain tires. Dixon saying it's getting worse out here. So the team that was trying to do it on one stop may be considering coming down and getting rain tires here.
Yeah, and every one stopper, that strategy's been eliminated. So all the benefit is gone. So for Scott Dixon, it just hasn't played out. He's going to have to do it on wet weather pace.
Right now, we got to see Bourdais has an 11-second lead over Newgarden, and can he tiptoe this thing around for the next however many minutes? How many minutes do we have to go?
Just
12
under 13.
minutes. Can he tiptoe this thing around and maintain that gap? Right now, he's got a lap time. It dropped way off. It went down to 1:17.
Drive behind you, inside.
So right now, it looks slicks are still faster than wets.
Yep. And remember, Dale Coyne has a history of winning rain-affected races through good strategy. Remember Carlos Huertas in Houston several years ago?
Can these guys keep it on track and not fall off the island on slicks?
Listen to how patient Newgarden has to be. He's got 2 problems. The track, not super wet, so he's trying to save the tire. He doesn't want to lean on him too hard. Also, the rubber's cold. He's just on an outlap. So he's being very careful not to destroy the wets. If he does, he'll have to pit again for a fresh set. Huge for Bourdais right now.
It's a big gamble by Dale Coyne, but we know he loves to gamble. The pace has really slowed down. He's down to a 117.6. And remember, they were running 110s, 109s.
He's staying out another lap. Waiting for timing.
We have less than 12 minutes left. I will watch the Newgarden Hunter-Reay battle and let you know.
That's the voice of Craig Hampson, chief engineer, race strategist. This is getting interesting.
Think about all the wet weather running that Bourdais done when he was in Europe with Peugeot team. As we see the 5 come in the pits all the time when you run in 24-hour races, Townsend, and you're running in the middle of the night in the rain.
All right, nice and easy.
Off come the slicks, on go the wets for Hinchcliffe. Meanwhile, Newgarden just did a 124 lap, Bourdais 119, so Sebastian Bourdais lapping 5 seconds quicker in these conditions. He's got to hang in there. If he pits, his chance at winning is effectively gone. But he can't make a mistake.
Race, Sebastian, you're winning the race. About half the field is on wets, the rest on dries.
This is like trying to sprint as fast as you can on wet grass.
And so important what Craig Hampson is doing for Sebastian Bourdais. His race engineer is giving the driver what every driver wants in this situation, which is information. How am I doing?
And keeping his confidence up, telling him you're winning the race. You're the fastest car in the field right now in these conditions. So all he's got to do is concentrate and keep it on the blacktop.
Here is whether you think you can keep the car going at a decent pace and on the track. That's your call.
Oh, the pace just slowed way down for Bourdais. Down to 1:22. Hunter-Reay hits pit lane. He can't hang on anymore.
That's why the call went out from Craig Hampson, race strategist and engineer. Can you keep this pace up, Kev?
Ryan Hunter-Reay, it was his decision. Ray Gosselin told him, you make the call, and about 30 seconds ago he said, I'm coming in. Same thing for Sebastian Bourdais. It's his decision. He's trying to hang on. Robert Wickens has also been running in the top 5 or 6. He's in for the wet Firestones right behind him. Hunter-Reay with a nice quick stop.
Well, Dixon's the only guy as well that hasn't pitted. Dixon, Bourdais are the only guys now that are still out there on slicks.
And I can tell you folks, just looking at our commentary booth window, it is pouring.
Well, there's a whole bunch of cars that are going to try to nurse it to pit lane. They still have slicks, Paul. Rossi, Andretti, Piggott, Hunter-Reay, Rahal we saw just pitted.
Here's the thing, if they catch a yellow, somebody spins out, goes in the gravel, we've only got a few minutes to go, and then you're running around under yellow trying to get it back going. Bourdais could win this race if somebody spins and it goes yellow.
You're right.
Another lap of rain like that, and I'm off.
There's your
It's
answer.
your call. Tell us what you are
There
doing.
we go. We got a guy off the track. Don't get stuck.
Rossi's got slicks on. There's his teammate, Hunter-Reay. That was close. So Bourdais is telling him, guys, this is ridiculous. I can barely hang on. But Craig Hampson knows if they pit Bourdais,
It's
they're
over.
out.
You have a 13-second lead. You have a 13-second lead. There is just over 8 minutes left.
You are watching one of the most controlled, disciplined drives from Sebastian Bourdais, a 4-time IndyCar champion. Scott Dixon says, I've had enough.
He gave up.
This is a game of chicken at this point. Who can hang on?
Well, you won't find anybody that's smoother on the throttle and more controlled as a driver as Bourdais. Bourdais looks like he's going to stay out again.
Yeah, come in.
Oh, he's coming.
He says, I'm coming. 8 minutes
Do
remaining.
you want to add front wing?
And that 13-second lead is down to 9 now between Bourdais and Newgarden. Scott Dixon serviced and sent.
You can see how slow he's going now. He's really had to back the pace up now. It's just so wet. Rooster tails now coming off the back of the cars, and Newgarden is on the move. The first on reins. He's conserved them. He was losing time, but now they are in and they're warm, and you just can't hang on anymore when the track is completely wet.
I don't know. Newgarden's not going that fast, Paul. Bourdais sort of hanging in here, but he just knows he can't take the risk.
He's coming.
As much front wing as we can get.
What
No
a shame.
delay.
What a shame for the Sealmaster team.
See where he cycles out. Hunter-Reay has already come in. Newgarden back to the front. So Hinchcliffe, Wickens have already done their reins. And Hunter-Reay, we'll see where he can come out and see if he can maintain, Kevin, his second place position.
They're going to add front wing, no fuel, so we'll see how quick the Dale Coyne Racing, Vassar Sullivan pit crew is. Just a tire change. There's the big turns of front wing. Bourdais' chance to win is probably gone, but still a good chance for a result if everyone can stay on track. You never know.
Hunter-Reay goes by.
Still could be a top 5 finish.
Hinchcliffe's going by in turn 1 now. He comes out of the pitch. Hinchcliffe whistles by, but Wickens is right there, right at the exit.
Here's Dixon and Rahal. This is further back for 6th and 7th. And yet again, Graham Rahal is just 6.5 minutes away from producing another solid result to keep himself in 4th in the championship, riding with Joseph Newgarden.
Wickens has just gotten by Bourdais. He's on hot rain tires. Bourdais still getting up to temperature. Now Dixon will be the next car behind Bourdais, but he's...
Oh!
Spencer Piggott.
Almost a yellow. But Piggott might be able to continue. He refires the car. It's stalled. He dumped the clutch, jump-started it, and the Fuzzy's car is back underway. Now he's just trying to make sure he doesn't get clobbered from behind. And that was an amazing save if you consider where that was on the racetrack, exiting turn 2, coming up over the hill. There's very little runoff to the left or right. And now it's just full chaos out there.
Well, it's all gone sideways for Rossi. He went through the gravel trap, lost a lot of time, and he's faded all the way back to 11th place. Just made a pass for 11th. He was running up in the top 4 at the beginning of the race.
Tell you what, guys, this race for second could get interesting between Hinch and Hunter-Reay. James Hinchcliffe has been putting in some very impressive laps, and there you saw Robert Wickens immediately behind him, so Wickens was able to get by Sebastian Bourdais. So Bourdais dropped back. Dixon is 6th, Rahal 7th, Sato 8th. Really solid day for Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan Racing. Pagano is 9th and Marco Andretti 10th.
Wickens right now is a second a lap faster than his teammate chasing him down. Bourdais right behind him, and a big gap. So we see Newgarden here as a close call, almost ran it off the edge of the track there. He's way out on the outside at turn 5, so very similar to what Power did a couple years ago and ran off.
Whoa.
So no mistakes there. You got a huge lead.
20-second lead for Newgarden right now. Don't forget that yesterday, as we ride on board with Newgarden for the replay, whoa, just almost loses it. Boy, he has fast hands. Yesterday, Bourdais was the fastest car in the wet until the race was halted at around lap 20.
And Townsend, Tim Cindric has reminded Joseph Newgarden, listen, you're not racing anybody right now except the weather. Just take care of it. But it's hard to be patient inside the race car because even though you got that big lead, Townsend, you want to run as hard as you can.
You do, but there's only 4 minutes left in the race with a 19-second lead. So Newgarden knows now what he needs to do.
I'll tell you what makes it harder to drive. These guys have gone back to a dry weather setup. They put the cambers in, stiffer springs, and now they're in the rain. Yesterday they softened everything up, made it much easier to drive in the rain, and now you're seeing guys slip around a lot more because these cars are set up for the dry. See that big understeer. He's got no front grip in the front of that car, and then snap oversteer on Power.
Joseph Newgarden is en route to a second victory in the season, his third in 4 years here at Barber Motorsports Park.
And how about this, Lee? Think about the rookie year that Robert Wickens has had, the performance at St. Pete, his first oval at Phoenix where he was so strong, went to Long Beach very impressively. Robert Wickens right now, the fastest driver in the field, his first time in an IndyCar in the wet. This guy is an amazing talent and continues to demonstrate sort of wisdom and technique well beyond his experience.
And he's got a lot of experience in the rain. Last year alone, he did 8 races in the DTM series in the wet, double races on the weekends, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. He said half of our races last year were in the wet, so he's the guy that's on the move, chasing down a podium.
And we might see a battle with his teammate before this thing's over. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the race. That last lap again, Hunter-Reay was quick with a 21.1, Wickens at a 21.2, Hinch at a 21.2. So everybody lapping pretty similar pace, but Newgarden has slowed way down.
23. He's got a lap car in front of him, but he's definitely got a huge lead and can tiptoe this thing around now.
2 minutes left. Next time by, basically 2 laps left. The Hitachi Chevrolet and the Penske team on the number 1 have had an amazing weekend. And listen, to be honest, and I think I can speak for you guys too, we were all expecting a little more chaos than this.
I really was. I thought there would be just guys frantic to try to make moves and pass guys. The only real aggressive driving we saw was from Cayman DeMello, who was really making moves. But this guy right here has been in full control all race long.
2 to go here.
That's the voice of Tim Cindric, president of Team Penske. 2 to go is the call.
As they run right now, Newgarden would snatch the championship points lead back from Alexander Rossi by 13 points, but it's not over yet. Here's Jordan King going off.
It's going to be
Looks like he'll be able to rejoin.
Turn 5, got wide, went out in the gravel.
Townsend, what was your best track? Come on, quick answer.
Mid-Ohio.
PT?
Long Beach.
Long Beach. This is Joseph Newgarden's best track. Headed to be the first 3-time winner in IndyCar Series history on this beautiful road course at Barber Motorsports Park. He's 1.5 laps away from victory, and what a weekend it has been. He won the Verizon P1 award 2 days ago in qualifying. He led every lap yesterday in the wet, which there weren't many, and he's led 71 laps in total in this Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama.
Your old school teacher coming out there. Come on, quick answer. You started out teaching English, right?
No, PE.
PE, excuse me, PE.
I wasn't a real teacher.
That was most definitely your old PE teacher coming out.
Yeah, yes or no answer. Let's move it along.
Nice and easy this lap.
Final lap coming up.
Down to 12 seconds from 20, so he's really backed the pace down. 23s, 1 minute 23s. The other guys Hunter-Reay, Hinchcliffe are running 21, so he's really listened to Cindric and slowed this thing down and going to bring it home.
You know, we mentioned, I think it was yesterday, Paul, and even in qualifying, we said to young drivers, to go-karters, if you're aspiring to do something or be like someone, this guy is your perfect model, because he's got it all. He's got the charisma, he's got the speech, he's got the presentation, he's got the driving acumen. He's got it all, but it's been a long road, and he needs to thank Ed Carpenter, Sarah Fisher, Wink Hartman, everybody all the way along. I spoke to Ed Carpenter about it a couple of days ago, and he said, we've got a real sense of gratification and accomplishment in being able to nurture Joseph. And he said he remembers the day they went out to lunch, and Joseph said, I'm moving on. I've got an opportunity to go to Team Penske. And as a driver and as a team boss, Ed Carpenter said to him, if I was in your shoes, I would do exactly the same. There's no hard feelings. And you're watching somebody who is very special. Joseph Newgarden feels at home because his real home in Tennessee is not far away, and Joseph Newgarden wins the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama to just put a stamp on it and own this place. Dixon's not done with Bourdais yet.
Dixon is all over the back to come to the last couple corners. Dixon slices down the inside. He's going to have the outside line for the next corner.
Bourdais will have the advantage, though, in the last corner. There could be contact.
Two four-time champions.
Drag race.
Who's going to get it? To the line, it's going to be Bourdais.
Brilliant stuff.
2 four-time champions going at it. Fantastic stuff.
And that's huge for Bourdais. He holds on to third in the championship battle. As Graham Rahal comes across the line, he'll finish. Sorry, Newgarden comes across the line. Graham Rahal 7th.
What are they saying at Team Penske? Let's head there now.
Celebrating a win at Barber Motorsports Park once again, as you mentioned, Lee. So let's chat with Tim Cindric. How big of a handful was that from the timing stand with the rain at the end?
Yeah, you know, you never know what was going to happen. So we were trying to build a gap, obviously, to all those guys who were doing it on one stop. But we felt like it was going to be tough for us to do it on one stop fuel-wise. So he made it look easy today for sure. And yeah, the rain came at the right time, and all the rest of it was really Joseph's deal.
What sort of magic does this kid have at this place, his hometown racetrack?
He's obviously confident here. You know, he's a guy he's committed. You know, he's committed in all ways. And this track's a track that you got to be full commitment. And you know, with him, we felt like an aggressive strategy was much better play to his strengths. And you know, sitting there hoping that we can make the fuel mileage.
Team Penske, Joseph Newgarden go to victory lane once again here at Barber Lee.
And you know what, Marty? Team Penske is incredible. It didn't win the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup race, but it did sweep the Supercars Championship races in Australia with Scott McLaughlin, and now here with Joseph Newgarden.